Yo, what is good, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And today we have a tier list here, a quarterback tier list. And yeah, the regular season just ended. I think you guys will see this on Friday before the divisional games, divisional playoff games. Yeah, and I think it's just time for a quarterback tier list. Most of these guys' seasons are over. I mean, there are only 8 teams left in the playoffs. And yeah, I think we just jump right into it. Look at the tiers real quick. We have the MVP tiers. We have the franchise guy tiers. We have the surround him with talent. So he could be a great quarterback. Let's see him with talent around him. We have the so-so tier, which I guess if I need a starting quarterback that badly and he's the best option, I'll take him. We have the career backup, and then we have the please give him time. Young quarterbacks that need time to develop, and some teams are just not willing to do that. So yeah, I'm going to be ranking, or not ranking, but putting these quarterbacks in a tier list as if they were taken off of their team. Because a lot of these quarterbacks are great with their team. I mean, just to start off, Jalen Hurts made it to a Super Bowl last year. This year got destroyed by the Buccaneers, but if we take him off the team, how good is he really? No A.J. Brown, no Devontae Smith, no amazing offensive lineman. So yeah, these are the tiers, these are the players. I'm not going to lie, there's one player I do not know about. I'm also going to switch this real quick, move this down. Yep, there's one player I am not 100% about, like who this person is. It'll be this guy right here. So, because I don't know who he is, I'm going to put him in career backup just to start it off. I guess I'm a casual because I don't know who that guy is. But the rest of these guys, I'm pretty sure I know. This guy too. Interesting. I think that's the Cardinals guy, but I'll put him in career backup as well. But let's start off this tier list. If there's anyone else I don't know, they'll go in there as well. We got Cooper Rush to start off with. Also got Pro Football Reference up here just in case I need any help looking at stuff. Not that I need help, but really just to show you guys. Cooper Rush, career backup. He hasn't done anything except being a career backup, even a third-string quarterback most of the time. So, I mean, where else am I supposed to put him? He doesn't need time. He hasn't shown anything that's not career backup. Next is Sam Darnold, career backup as well. He had his time. He had his chance to start on these teams. I don't think he'll ever get another starting quarterback opportunity. He did start a game this year for the 49ers, but their 1 seed was locked up, so it did make sense. They're going to bench Brock Purdy. But right now, I don't see him ever getting another starting chance in his career. But if he can replace someone and does pretty good at it, maybe we could see him move up a tier or so. So I have him in career backup. Next up is Justin Fields, and I guess this is going to be my first crazy one. I'm going to put him in surround him with talent. Yeah, some people might want to put him in so-so. I mean, if you put him in career backup, I think you're pretty crazy. And I also think please give him time is another one to put in. But I'll put him in surround him with talent. I'm just looking at, I mean, I know his stats are not good. I think he ended with 16 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. But if we want to look at the Bears, I guess just Bears games the last couple of weeks, seeing how they ended the season, did lose to the Packers. That was tough. But before the Packers game, if we want to start off November 9th, because I also believe this was his Justin Fields' first game back. 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2, 5-3. He ended the season 5-3, and the Bears were fighting for a playoff spot. As much as people don't want to admit it, Justin Fields, if you surround him with talent, DJ Moore is a good start. Now let's possibly trade that number 1 pick for more talent, or even use Marvin Harrison with it. And I don't think you got to get rid of Justin Fields yet. Surround him with talent, and I think the Bears can possibly be a playoff team in the near future. Next is Jalen Hurts, and after that playoff game, I think it's pretty clear that he's in this tier. Is he going to end up being their franchise guy? Yeah, probably. I don't think he's an MVP candidate right now, but Jason Kelce just retired. That offensive line keeps getting older, and he has A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith on his team. So, realistically, as a passer, you need to surround him with talent for him to be a great quarterback. Running the ball, yes, he did break Cam Newton's record, but it was the tush push. So we give him an average offensive line and an average wide receiver talent. How much different is he from Justin Fields? That's just my opinion. I'll put him in the surround him with talent tier. Next up is Geno Smith, and after this year, I'm pretty sure it's a so-so. The Seahawks in the 2 years with Geno Smith haven't been terrible, but they also haven't been bad. I mean, this year, 20 touchdowns, 9 receptions. And if I can see last year as well, he was a Pro Bowler, but his stats looked a lot better. He had 30 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. Geno did miss, I think, 2 games this season as well, so you have to give him that. But can this team really go far with Geno Smith? That I'm not so sure about. I'm going to put him in the so-so tier. Bailey Zappi, he's been a career backup. He only replaced Mac Jones when he was playing terrible. I think he did end up being the Patriots starter, but I don't see in any situation will Bailey Zappi have a starting position at the beginning of the season. Next up is Ryan Tannehill. So-so to career backup. I mean, I could see Ryan Tannehill possibly getting another starting job in his career. I mean, for Geno Smith, I think unless something crazy happens, he'll be the Seahawks starting quarterback for next year and possibly the year after, depending if they draft one, if they sign one. Ryan Tannehill, I don't think he'll be on the Titans next year. Some team's going to try to give him a contract, and I think he could end up being a starter once again in this league. I'll put him in so-so. Next is Hendon Hooker. Honestly, please give him time. He had an amazing last year of college with Tennessee. I mean, crazy throwing numbers. Could have possibly been Heisman if he didn't hurt himself. But give him time just because we haven't seen anything yet from him. A lot of other these guys, like Desmond Ridder. I think, is this Desmond Ridder? It looks like Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder, we've seen from him. We know that he's probably not the guy. So please give him time for Hendon Hooker, and you never know. Next is Josh Allen, and it's going to be my first MVP candidate guy. Obviously not just MVP, so I guess I'll put candidate in there as well. Got out of the first round, wild card pretty easily against the Steelers. The Steelers did make a little push at the end, but at the end of the day, Josh Allen and the Bills were able to destroy them. And it's going to be an interesting game this week against the Patrick Mahomes-led Chiefs. We'll see who wins that one. Next is Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't see him getting another starting job in his career. I mean, what we saw from the Raiders, him with the Raiders this season, got injured, played horrendous. Then when he came back, he wasn't able to get his spot back. It was already taken by Aiden O'Connell. So career backup there for Jimmy Garoppolo. Next is Jordan Love. I mean, he's in the franchise guy or surround him with talent, in my opinion. Right now, I guess I'll put him in franchise guy for the Packers right now. You cannot tell me that the Packers have thought anything else except this guy's going to be our franchise quarterback. Once they pay him, he's going to be the franchise guy. I think he's eligible this season for an extension. Jordan Love's going to have that opportunity to be the Packers franchise guy. And honestly, right now, maybe I'll put him in surround him with talent because it's just been 1 year. But Jordan Love has a bright future in the league. Next up is Desmond Ridder. I mean, I think I might add 2 more tiers here. Add below. Well, I guess I just added one above. But add below. Bad starting QB. And then, yeah, I guess that'll be it. That's where Desmond Ridder is going because he's probably going to end up getting another starting job in his career. I mean, I think the Falcons should look to get a new quarterback, but if they don't, their new quarterback's going to end up being Desmond Ridder. Next is Colt McCoy, career backup. Andy Dalton, career backup. Bryce Young, please give him time. You know what? I am going to do another tier. Add a row below, we're going to be doing... I keep doing it above, but I'll put him in the potential tier because he has great potential. I mean, first overall pick. Add a row below. Wait. I don't know what I just did, but I guess please give him time. I'll put him here with the potential tier. Bryce Young has all the potential in the world. It's just honestly because his team sucks and he did not have a good rookie season. I wonder what his numbers did end up looking like for Bryce Young. Ended with 11 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. I mean, his team sucks, so not much you could do about that one. I spelled potential wrong. Next up we have is Jacoby Brissett. He will not have another starting quarterback opportunity before his career ends, in my opinion. Daniel Jones, you know what? I'll be nice. He did not end up with a great statistical season. He did blow out his knee, so he didn't end up with the greatest stats, but 2 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Honestly, you're going a bad starting quarterback. Next is Lamar Jackson. Is this going to be our second MVP player in the tier? Yes, it will be. He's going to be the MVP this season, so I have no reason to put him anything else but in the MVP tier. Next is Joe Burrow. Right now, I think I'll keep him in franchise guy. It used to be him and Josh Allen fighting to be that second best quarterback in the league, but Lamar has proven that he's able to throw it and run it, and I think right now he's better than both Allen and Burrow. I'll put Burrow in there right now. I mean, this year at least dealt with injuries to start and to end the year, so I'll have him in franchise guy right now. If he has a fully healthy season, I could see him be an MVP candidate, but franchise guy. Next is CJ Stroud. I'll put him in MVP candidate. We were able to see him put amazing statistics on a team where we thought he didn't have that many weapons, and then he was able to go into a playoff game with his number 1 receiver Tank Dell out, with Noah Brown. I mean, he got hurt that game. Now he's out for the season, I believe. And he was able to work with just Nico Collins, who, yeah, Nico Collins is a great wide receiver, but he only became a great wide receiver when CJ Stroud started throwing him the ball. CJ Stroud is in the MVP candidate too. He's having a great rookie season, one of the greatest rookie quarterback seasons of all time. And I guess that's just where he's going right now, MVP candidate, off of just last season. Tua Tagovailoa. Surround him with talent. Honestly, if Tua didn't have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, are you telling me he would be better than what we saw from this year from Justin Fields? Maybe you could, but in my opinion, I don't really see it. You need to surround Tua with talent if you want him to be a good quarterback, if you want him to be a great quarterback. I'm still thinking about that Joe Burrow, and I might move him up to MVP candidate. Next is Brock Purdy. He is the definition of surround him with talent. Brock Purdy is not the quarterback he is without Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and all those great offensive weapons. So surround him with talent, but it's okay because the 49ers have all the talent to be a Super Bowl team. And if that means Brock Purdy's your quarterback, that means Brock Purdy is your quarterback. Surround him with talent, and the 49ers are a Super Bowl contending team. Next up, we have Taysom Hill. He's not even a quarterback anymore. Drew Lock, he's not getting another starting job. Matt Stafford. Stafford's probably right now in their franchise guy, but it's definitely interesting. Obviously, Stafford's old right now. How old is Stafford? 35, 34? Can I not see his age from this? It's probably somewhere here. I just can't find it. Matt Stafford is 35 years old. So right now, yes, he is your franchise guy, but he's getting old, and he's going to retire soon. Rams need to try to keep opening their Super Bowl window in the meantime. Mac Jones, bad starting quarterback. Honestly, there goes Tannehill as well. Kenny Pickett, honestly, give him time. I'm not going to say he has high potential. I don't think he has as high potential as Bryce Young does, but we've seen him through 2 years. The first year wasn't horrendous, and at least it gave us some hope for the second year. And the second year, it was riddled with injuries. So just give him some more time, even though it's not looking great right now. Kenny Pickett can turn into a good starting quarterback. I'm going to say the exact same thing with Trevor Lawrence. A lot of people want to consider Trevor Lawrence this MVP-type quarterback. I mean, he has the potential, but he's just not there yet. Honestly, I'm going to put him in the potential tier. Yeah, I'll put him in the potential tier right now. I mean, you want to look at the different stats between Trevor Lawrence and Kenny Pickett. Trevor Lawrence this season had 21 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Pickett, obviously a lot worse, but also played a lot less games. 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I mean, if you do the ratio, setting those, whatever, to the common denominator, then their stats look pretty similar. But right now, Trevor Lawrence in the potential tier. Mike White, no. I mean, I don't think so, right? We agreeing that Mike White is a career backup. Sam Howell, they're going to draft a quarterback, so the please give him time tier is a little misleading. He's going to end up getting another starting quarterback job from some team, but it's probably not going to be the Commanders just because Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, or Drake May is going to be on their team next year. So please give him time for Sam Howell. Don't throw him to a backup quarterback yet. Teddy Bridgewater's retiring, so there's that. Davis Mills will not be a starting quarterback ever again. Gardner Minshew, I mean, honestly, right now, he's in the so-so quarterback. I'm taking Gardner Minshew over every single quarterback in the bad starting quarterback tier. Minshew did a lot for the Colts this season. I mean, he led them to possibly a playoff spot. They did end up losing it. I mean, his middle name is Flint, so Gardner Minshew is nothing short than a cool guy. 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. A good season from Gardner Minshew. I'll put him in the so-so tier. Matt Ryan is retired. He has been, so I don't know why he's in this tier list. Will Levis, from what we saw, I think I'll put him in the potential tier rather than the please give him time tier. I mean, he had a good couple weeks to start his starting quarterback campaign. He ended with 8 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Did have a 58% completion percentage, so that wasn't great. But he has a lot of potential, and if we do end up surrounding him with talent, then the Titans can be a good team. Next we have is Dak Prescott. You cannot tell me that Dak Prescott is the same quarterback he is right now if he didn't have all that talent on his team before. Surround Dak with talent, and you'll end up being a first-round exit, because that's what the Cowboys do. Next is Russell Wilson. Right now he is not the franchise guy, but he's also surrounded him with talent. Last year, Broncos dealing with a lot of injuries. Cortland Sutton injured, Jerry Jeudy injured. This season, last season rusted bad. This season rusted a lot better. Honestly, you could even call it good. You can call it good because he had a good season, and that's when their main pieces were able to be healthy. And for the most part, at least to begin the season, the Broncos were bad, but to end it, they were good. So surround Russell Wilson with talent, and he's not a bad quarterback. I'm confident that he's in the same tier of players as these guys are. Next up is that Matt Corral. I mean, is he ever going to get a starting quarterback? Same thing with Max Duggan. Kyler Murray is next. Give him time. Yeah, How old is Kyler Murray right now? Kyler Murray is 26 years old. Who else is next? Give him time. Sam Howell, what is he, 23 years old? Kenny Pickett, 24 years old. Hendon Hooker, 25 years old. Something like that. You just have to give those guys some time. Kyler Murray has been good his career. He's been a lot better than all of these guys. But he does not have highest potential as probably Trevor Lawrence and Bryce Young. Will Levis, not so sure about. Kyler Murray might have higher potential than him. So honestly, I'll probably move Will Levis down there. But other than that, I agree with that one. Malik Willis will probably never get a starting quarterback job in his career. Anthony Richardson does have potential, though. I mean, only through a couple of games, Richardson showed a lot of flashes. And I find him right here. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception through 4 games. Not the greatest stats, but he didn't turn the ball over too much. Did have some injuries, too. But right now, Anthony Richardson is definitely in that potential tier. Stetson Bennett will never get a starting quarterback job. Trey Lance is definitely interesting because it's definitely interesting. If I have Hendon Hooker in the please give him time tier, then honestly there's no reason why I would not have Trey Lance there as well. He's just got so unlucky first couple years of his career. He was injured. He had a starting quarterback job. Didn't do terrible. Then he got injured again. Then when he came back, Brock Purdy was playing like an amazing quarterback. So please give him time. Hopefully. We'll see. He's not far from that career backup tier, though. Same thing with Zach Wilson. I mean, I don't know. He wasn't playing terrible. He was not playing terrible for the Jets this season. Then when he got benched, he had that little thing where he decided he didn't want to come back to the team. So we'll see. I might make a new tier right here. Underneath it, add a row below. I'm not sure what I should call it. Alright, I decided the new tier will be called Sliver of Hope. Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Hendon Hooker, all in the Sliver of Hope. You might have something out of them. Most likely not, but you never know. Next up is Baker Mayfield. If you're telling me, if you're putting Geno Smith on that Buccaneers team, if you're putting Gardner Minshew on that Buccaneers team instead of Baker Mayfield, they're probably the same team, if not better, which is kind of crazy to say, but Baker has had some good weapons this season, so I'll put him in the so-so quarterback still. Jameis Winston, it's looking like he probably won't have another starting quarterback job. He's going to end up being a career backup. I love Jameis Winston, though, obviously as a Saints fan, but, it's tough to say. At some points this season, I would rather him over Derek Carr. Next up, let me just fix this here real quick. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes will not go in it, but next is Patrick Mahomes. Hasn't been amazing this season, but hasn't done anything to prove that he's not in the MVP candidate. Justin Herbert is the one up next. I'm going to throw Justin Herbert into the franchise guy tier. He's definitely not an MVP candidate yet, especially with how the Chargers have been performing with all the years he's been there. I don't think he's there yet. And honestly, I think it's time for me to move Joe Burrow up. Without injuries, he's an MVP candidate, let's be honest. Next up is Aaron Rodgers. They plan to make Aaron Rodgers their franchise guy, right? They're not going to move on from him this season. He didn't even play. They're going to surround him with more talent. Maybe we'll see them bring Devontae Adams in. But overall, Aaron Rodgers is still a great quarterback. Franchise guy, I think, is still comfortable to put him in. Next up is Jared Goff. Jared Goff is definitely tough because I don't think he deserves to be in the same tier list as Baker Mayfield and Gardner Minshew. Honestly, I want to make a new tier, but I'm not exactly sure if Jared Goff would be the only guy in that tier. You know what? I will make a new tier. I'll throw one right underneath it. It's going to be the good quarterback tier. Just a good QB. I'll throw Jared Goff there, and I'll throw Matt Stafford there as well. Anyone from that surround with talent tier? Probably not. Not Justin Fields. No. Maybe Jordan Love, but right now I think he's still in that tier. I think this is good. I'll probably throw Russell Wilson there as well. Next up is Kirk Cousins. I think he's the perfect candidate for the good QB tier. He's been good his whole career. The Kirk Cousins hate is never warranted. He's been a great quarterback his whole career. I think if you average out his statistics, let me see something. Kirk Cousins this year, he only played in 8 games. So let's do some math real quick. 18 touchdowns to 5 interceptions in 8 games is crazy. But let's do some math. That is not it. If Kirk Cousins did end up playing 17 games this season, here, let's get his stats real quick. 18 times that number. 38 touchdowns to 10.625 interceptions. Just had to do some quick maths right there just to prove to you guys that Kirk Cousins is still a good quarterback. Even though these last couple of years, if I can find his yards, where would his passing yards be? Here, 4,500 last season, 400 or 4,200 the year before, 4,200 the year before that. Kirk Cousins is still a great quarterback. Please put respect on his name. Honestly, him and Matt Stafford are fighting to be the best quarterback in this good QB tier. Marcus Mariota is not going to get another starting position in his career. Desmond Ritter. Okay, so who is this guy? If this guy isn't Desmond Ritter, I rated this guy as Desmond Ritter. Not sure who this guy is. If he's not Desmond Ritter, I don't know who he is. So, let's fix that, and let's put Desmond Ritter in. They look similar, so I thought there was possibility that they're the same guy. But, bad starting quarterback, because that's what he is right now. Finally, Derek Carr. Everything in my body wants me to put him right there, but at the end of the day, he's a so-so quarterback. So here's the final tier list. I don't know if I could zoom out or anything, so I guess I'll just have to show you in parts. To start off with the MVP candidates, you have Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, yes, I said it, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow. Franchise guys, just Herbert and Aaron Rodgers right now. Surround him with talent are these guys right here. Then we have the good QBs, these guys right here. We have the so-so quarterbacks right here. The bad starting quarterbacks right here. And all these career backups, I'm not going to say all of them. The potential guys, Bryce Young, Trevor Lawrence, Anthony Richardson. The please give him time guys. You know, honestly, I think it might be time to move Kyler Murray in a different tier. I mean, let's look at his stats real quick. Kyler Murray, this year, 10 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. I think I could do the exact same thing with, I think I did with Kirk Cousins. I think he played the exact same amount of games. He would have had 21.25 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. So not great, but just give him some more time. And the sliver of hope, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, and Hendon Hooker, because you never know. So thanks for watching this tier list, and leave your opinions in the comment section below. Give me some more video ideas in the description on the Google form, and we'll see you next time. Peace.